Okay, so I bought some stuff for my Sora costume. There's a lot here. So let's just get into it. First, air conditioner's on again. It's gonna be that way throughout the summer probably. It's far too hot up here for no air conditioner. I wish I had a quieter one, but I don't. Anyway, so I got 2 packs of these gold buttons. Now these are gonna actually be used. So I'm gonna show you guys in a moment. I got a new chain for the necklace. The one that I have for my Kingdom Hearts 2 necklace, disgusting now. It's all chipped off and everything. So I'm gonna try to keep this one a little safe for now. And then I have no idea where I'm gonna put it, so I'll probably put it back in the bag when I'm done here. But I don't want to get scratched on the table and stuff, so I want to be careful with that. So I got this interfacing here. Hopefully this will work for what I'm doing with it. And then a bunch of gray fabric. Now, the reason I wanted to show you guys all this first was this looks wrong, right? For all the gray that's on Sora, because it's leather, isn't it? Take another look. I'm probably just gonna put up like a zoomed picture or something, because you're not gonna be able to see the one on my phone. But I mean, I'll go to that anyway, but there's no way you can see this properly. So just so I can show what I'm talking about here, this little gray here, there's all the different grays on his clothing, and the pants are black. It's just lit up really well. You can tell over here that it's a lot more of a real black, and that this is just lighting. But you can see a weave, specifically like a very obvious weave pattern in his pants. Whereas these red belt thingies that are connecting the pockets, I guess, they're not really doing anything. They're just kind of decoration. They have a very obvious leather design. So that kind of helps, because that design is on the trim. That same like texture is on the trim of the pockets. But it's not on the pockets. The pockets have the exact same weave as the pants. There's no way those are leather. They have to match the pants. And so my pants are this khaki type thing, so I got kind of a heavy fabric. This is kind of a denim, kind of not. I think it's a denim, but we got it in the closest gray we could possibly get. So, and this is literally the only gray they had in a kind of canvasy, thicker type fabric, because I do want these to be functional. And then I also have to make them using the same materials for here, and these are definitely not leather. So you can definitely see the darker parts here have leather, but I'm gonna have to figure that out myself. I don't really know how I'm gonna do that yet. I'm not working on those yet. I'm working on the pants, but the different parts of the pants are very clearly not leather. So I had a conundrum that I have to figure out how the hell I'm gonna do the trim. No trim looks like that. That doesn't exist. So when you do a corner like that, you would have to fold a straight piece into an angle and then sew it into an angle, and that would create a seam. There's no seam there. That's physically impossible to do, so I'm gonna have to do it a different way. Plus, I couldn't find trim that was that color. I don't know why. They didn't exist. So, as far as I could tell. So, I'm gonna have to do it a different way. So I got this big roll of vinyl. This is a really thin vinyl, so it's better to use. And if I double up on it, it's not too thick, and I can sew through it. The thicker stuff that I've used before, which is on this mock-up of the shoes, which I'm gonna build the shoes over these shoes, so that's how that's gonna happen. This thicker one, if you double it up, it's way too thick to sew through. It's just too hard to use, so I went with the thinner stuff. Put that back on there. This will be for a later video. I have almost no idea what I'm doing with the shoes right now, so Atlas is gonna help me there. Anyway, so these buttons here are for the pants. I'm gonna make them actually snap open and closed. So this pocket anyway. The other pocket doesn't do that. So I gotta remember how many are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have another picture on here, so that doesn't help. It's really hard to figure out where all of his buttons are. So it looks like there's 1, 2, 3 on the top one. So this one right here, this one that has like an actual pocket in it, is going to have 1 here and then 2 in the back. And then these have 2 each on them. So that would be 7 each, and there's 7 in these. I have no room to mess up. So I hope I don't screw up. Anyway, these aren't going to be like exactly accurate either because my pants aren't as poofy as his are, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's get on to actually doing this. So I got to figure out exactly, I got to put this chain away so I don't destroy it, and I got to find out exactly how long these pants need to be. Now I have folded them a little bit when wearing them, so I'm going to cut them along there, and that's longer than what I need. I know for a fact it is, but I want to get a rough idea. I don't need this yet. That's for the arm pieces so that they can be stiff. And I don't need these yet, so I'll put these like right here so they're near me but not. So these don't have to be perfect because, like I said, this is already longer than I needed. Oh, that didn't... I was trying to cut through both, you know, all of the layers at once. That didn't happen. Good enough. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hem these up about the size that I'm going to be making the gray portions of it. Like the little gray pieces, and see if it's enough. And that way it'll also give me how big of a piece I need to make the gray piece, like how wide I need to make it. So that helps too. I get a pattern as I cut the things off, so whatever works. Alright, I'm gonna pin that down and then try that on. Alright, so it's looking like what I did there was fine. Probably not perfect, but it'll work. So what I'm gonna do, very carefully cut in like that. Then I'm going to cut around. So what I did figure out by doing this was the length where the fold was, if I hiked it up a little bit to where it would be like as if you pulled part of your pant leg up, kind of like that, that it would give me just the right amount of poof in the pants. So that seems to work. So I'm going to do that. And then this is still the right size of thing to do for the gray, so that I'm going to make that out of this piece, then connect it at the bottom. So basically it'd be like sewn here and then this flip back down, but this would be a lot tighter because it has to, you know, grip around his leg rather than be a loose piece of pants. Alright, so I can take this piece and I can wrap it around my leg, see how big I need it. You know what? Actually, I have a better idea. I probably will make it this big so that it can match exactly, and then I'll have it on the back where it like velcros shut or something. I'll figure that out later, but for now, this is exactly what I needed. So I'm going to do that on the other side too. So to do that, there we go, I'm gonna take these pants, put them together. So I line them up as best as I can. Flattening pants out is such a chore. This is actually very annoying. And it's not working correctly. I don't know why. Okay, that's probably as close as I'm gonna get. I had to match the seams up as best as I could. So now I'm gonna go and cut along the highest seam there, or the highest cut, so that it kind of makes the most sense. There was a little bit hanging off, like to where there was a little bit extra, so I just took that off, and now I have basically shorts that I just cut. Just cut these into long shorts. So that's a thing that I just did. On me, they're probably still almost pants because I'm short, but whatever. So now these are the same length I almost said these are the long. Now these are the same length, and I can figure out exactly which gray I need. I didn't think about that. I need to look at that again. Okay, I definitely need the lighter gray, which is the vinyl. So I'm gonna, this is gonna be hard. Alright, let's do this way maybe? Oh, what am I doing? Do it on the back side. Alright, so I can take this, turn it back to right side out so I have the right size. Actually, no, turn it inside out so that I make the seam allowance correct. Kinda try to square this off a little better. Let me get a straight edge. I'll just use this since it's right here. Alright, and then a marker. Good enough. Might make it just a little bit bigger. Just never hurts. Alright. I can always make it smaller after I cut it out. So, I need 2 of these, so I'm going to cut one out now, and then I'm going to trace it and cut another one. So the reason I need 2 of these is probably obvious. They need to get sewn together. That's like the point of what I'm doing here. So, you would put these 2 front to front and sew them together. So I have to do that first, but my machine isn't working right now, so I got to get it working first. But you just sew them together, and then when I put them up against the pants, I can see how big they need to be. I can trim them down a little bit to be better, and then I'm gonna make a second pair basically and do this. There needs to be 2 of them for each, each leg. So once these are together and they're the right size, then I can just trace it out and make another one, is basically what I'm going to be doing. So I need to sew it first, but I need to fix my machine, so I will be back sometime after I do that. Alright, so this is bad. Also, this is loud. My AC is loud. I don't know why. Anyway, this is bad. My sewing machine doesn't work anymore. I don't know what happened. I think it was when I was trying to fix my cloud harness. Because it's so thick, I think it screwed up the motor or something. Because it didn't want to work correctly when I was doing that. And I think that finally broke it. So I have to get a new one. I don't have the money for a new one. So the only other person I know with one is Atlas. So I have to wait until I go to his house. I do have my patterns still for the arm pieces. I just gotta find where I put them. Okay, I may have to make those again. So I guess never mind. I don't know what happened to them. I had them, but they're kind of not here. So I gotta search for them. So instead, I guess I'm gonna go with doing the pockets. So I gotta know exactly what I gotta do for the pockets. I need a better picture, so hold on. Alright, not the best picture, but his arm is down, so I can see exactly how long I need to make the pocket pieces here, which will help me with how long I need to make the rest of it. Because I can kind of see the difference in how big they are, and then I can measure them up on here when I'm done making them. Like, I'll make a pattern for them probably, and then, so I gotta figure that out. So let me do that. So from what I can tell from wearing it, right around the end of the pocket here, so here's the pocket, so it went to right around here is where my fist went. So, and I had my fist kind of curled and balled up like his is. Like that. I guess you couldn't see it when it was down there. So it goes to about here, which is, it's about 8 inches, it looks like. So we'll go, let's see, if I do 8 inches, that'll be here. And then if I do maybe 10 inches for the rest of it, that should be fine. Let me see here. Alright, so this is about 1.5 inches. Then the second part here in between both pockets is around 3/4 of an inch, then 1.5 inches again. So it looks like they're the same size. So let's do it this way. So 8 inches was right here. So let me actually do 7.5 and see where that goes. So 7.5 is right there. Yeah, let's do 7.5 inches. That's better. It's a little bit nicer of a framing on here. So let's do that. So I need to make a pattern now. So I was lucky enough that I happened to have some of this brown packing paper, which is the stuff that you use to ship things in. So I recently, there should be a video out of it, but I recently did an unboxing for Super Neptunia RPG on the Nintendo Switch, limited edition, and it was covered in this stuff. So this is really good stuff to make patterns with. So and it's super cheap. You can usually get it on a roll at the dollar store. So yeah, that's really good. I need to just get more. I just ran out. I had a big pad that had sheets in it that you might have seen in other videos. I just don't have it anymore. I ran out. So let's see. This is squared off, which is exactly what I need. So, oh, and I also found out that the left to right is 9 inches. So for the big pocket one. So the front, like whatever those front pockets are called. So I'm gonna line this up to 7.5 and mark down there. And then I'm gonna go 9 inches this way, mark right there. I'm gonna try to make this as straight as possible. So let me go, I don't think that's gonna be straight. Let me do it this way. A really good way to make a straight line here. Yeah, that works. All right, so follow that crease and then connect the dots. That looks really small compared to what it should look like. I don't know why, but whatever. All right, so then this needs to be from right around here. Needs to come down like that. So it does need to be bigger on this side than on this side. So let's make that a little bit smaller up there and just a little bit taller up here. It's really hard to tell because there's not really many good pictures of him with his hands right next to his pocket where you can see it, but you can kind of see with this hand that it is kind of small. So I think that'll work. Because like his hand is like half of it and my hand is about half of it. So that's close enough, I think. And then I believe they all end at the same spot. Let me try and get a back view. Okay, it's not the best quality, but it is a back view, sort of. It's a side view. So you can see that these end at the halfway point. So, or just barely past the halfway point. So this would be the center, whatever you want to call that, the belt loop, that's what it's called. It ends at the back of the center belt loop. So I think that's where I ended mine. That's exactly where I ended mine. So actually, it's not exactly, but it's really close. So I'm actually gonna add about maybe 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna do 1/2 inch like that. Connect the dots. Call that good. There we go. So then this will probably also be a little smaller again. So just like that. Okay. So now I know to not use those. I'm going to scribble those out, and I'm going to use this line here. So that way I know which line to cut out, and then I'll just cut out along the thing. So that should work fine. And then I am going to be putting a piece around it, and then the piece around it is going to be this size. Then the actual, like this square size anyway. And then I'm gonna have another piece on top of it that's just slightly smaller following this line, and following a little bit above these lines so that I can get so it looks like trim, because I don't have actual trim. So now we can figure out exactly where the rest of it goes. So I'm going to go back to the other picture, and it looks like roughly here. So let's go right there. So I'm going to need to, I have a better way to do this one. I have a corner straight edge. So this one I can put up against it so I can see exactly where the line is perfectly straight. And then this, I'll go down, how much was I supposed to go down? I'll do it this way actually. How much was this, because the inches are on this side. So I was supposed to go, they're supposed to be the same length, I believe. And then there's that one in the middle. So I'm gonna go, so 7.5. It looked like it was about maybe 2 inches would work for that. Maybe 2.5 would work for that. So let's go 2.5, and then 7 would be 9.5, then 10. So this one should be 7. Yeah, right there. Okay. Then I gotta do it from here too. I should make that line to connect all of this too. That would probably help. Let me make sure 100% that this is where it's supposed to be. Yeah, I think I should make that just a little bit longer. It looks incorrect, like very incorrect. So this I might need to make longer, and then this I'll make longer here too. So yeah, another inch or so. That'll work. Alright, that's a little better. Alright. So don't use that line. Alright. So I'm gonna cut all this out. I'm gonna redo this one because, or well, at least just enlarge it, because it's not big enough. Yeah, I might as well just completely redo this one. So, okay, I think I'm gonna do that over here then. Ooh. Less beat up over here. Sweet. So then we just connect the dots again. And then this would start roughly there and end there. So this is gonna be pocket inside, pocket outside, and this is going to be A. So these are seams A. This is seam A connecting that. And this will be seam B. Oops. Badly spelled center. And then pouch. I'll just leave it at pouch. Because there's going to be an inside and an outside, and then because it's 2 layers, so it's going to be an inside and outside, and then there'll be a flap, but I'll just draw the flap on and cut it out when the time comes, so I don't need to do that yet. But alright, so I can cut this. Alright, so I need to cut this one back out again. Now I can cut the pieces out of here. And since this will be kind of backwards, that means that I can just use these for the other side. So like right now they're set for my right side with the ink out. This would be my right side. But if I do them like this, then it'll be set for my left side. So I just gotta remember that. Now I should be pinning this down, but I'm lazy and I don't want to. So there's one. So, like I said, I do need to do one actual square and then one that's this piece. So, I need to do this first. But I might as well cut this all out just like this, because it's all going to fit the same anyway. So, that's all one side right there. So, this would be ending up on my left side, the way it is. So let's just cut this out just like this, and then pin it to the pants, just so we can start getting a feel of it. And I have more than enough of this to screw up a few times, so I'm not worried. All right, so pinning this down now. So it will all pin just after the seam, so I'm going to do that first. I've got to cut a little bit off of the top of this so that it fits in there. No, there. So that it fits around the belt loop. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay. So this will sit just like this. I've got to try to keep it as even as possible. All right. So now that that's on there, I can start doing it this way. That's got to be really careful, because I will stab myself, because I'm really good at that. Okay, I definitely started putting this in wrong. Oh yeah, I'm way off again. So I have to be careful of how this gets put on, because not just stabbing myself, but I keep going like off center. So I gotta be careful of that, because then it won't look right. Okay, so I'm noticing something that I did. There's barely any space down here, but he has a lot, and his pants actually go kind of low. So I think I cut them wrong, so I might have to do a different pair of pants. Then I'll just hem these up as shorts. I mean, I need more pairs anyway, might as well. I might have to do that, because this is definitely not enough space down here. But I am gonna put them on, look in the mirror, and see kind of the sizing of this, because I may be able to cut it down again. I just have to see what happens. This does look like this is probably the correct size here. Alright, I'm gonna go put these on and see what happens. Okay, so no, I'm just paranoid and make things way bigger than they need to be. So I'm glad, because that means I can shrink them back down. So I can take the other pattern that I had and then shrink this one back down as well, and it should be fine. This comes down to like under my knee. Okay, so you can see in this picture his knee is roughly where this poof is. This is on top of his knee. This right here goes down to like here on me. I'm short, so apparently he's short too, but I don't know why it doesn't match up. Proportions on these things don't match up ever. So yeah, I have to make these shorter now. So we're gonna go with that and see what I can do. It's already looking choppy though, like I didn't cut it out very well, so I might be using a knife next time so I can get straight cuts. Hopefully I can figure this out, because this is sort of not working right. Okay guys, so I got this set up kind of in a vlog way almost. It's kind of hard to do this actually. I'm just gonna end the video here because I'm basically done. So I have all of this here. This isn't everything. I still have to do like a couple of parts on here, and then oh, I need to cut out the darker gray stuff from the pants, and that's all I have to cut out, as well as the stuff for the arms. I gotta cut all that out later on, but I'm gonna do a lot of that at Atlas's house because I don't have like a way to hold it against myself. This way Atlas can hold it while it's pinned on me, and he can take a look at it while it's on me, and I don't, it's hard for me to see all the angles, so having a second person who knows what they're doing will be a good idea. So he's gonna help me, and yeah, I just don't have my camera on the regular tripod, so I can't show you guys everything. Plus, real quick, everything has been getting changed around in here. So this entire room is getting like a redo. So everything's kind of dirty and messy. So this window is where I usually did all that stuff. The table was there. Those lights were over here. And that's where I did everything. And you can see all my stuff there. So I'm moving all of that over here. And I got rid of my rolling desk that I normally have in videos that I'm like, I used it in my last unboxing video. That's gone. This is the stuff that had my anime stuff on it. That's all in my other room now. So now this whole section is going to be like this, basically, with a desk closer so that you can see me doing things, and then I'll have stuff in the background. This is why you're not seeing too much right now as far as making things. I don't really have the time. I've been doing all of this, and this has taken a little while. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to be going down to Atlas's, so I'm going to put all of that, the entire trip, whatever, in the next video. So stay tuned for that.